music break. What a very nice and refreshing way to kind of come back into the show. Not every day Afrobeats. Sometimes.
Heavy on that statement. Not every day gra Afrobeat.
Oh God, the way she said,
Hey, no, that one was too loud.
You can tell that this is Lydia's song. Okay, if it wasn't clear already. But truly, Jidenna is a very, very unique, I think, talent within sort of the Nigerian music space.
I agree.
Very unique talent. So, yeah, big ups to you, man. Well done. Speaking about music talents within the Nigerian music space, my personal favorite, David. I call him David. So, you know what? I was speaking to my friends and I'm like, oh, David's this. And they're like, but now they're used to me. Initially, they were like, who's David? I'm like, oh, you call him Davido. They're like, what is wrong with this guy? But now they're used to me. So anytime I'm saying, oh, David, they're like, is this an actual person we know or Davido? I'm like, it's Davido now.
Love it.
So, David, Nigerian music star, has taken to social media to commend Belgium for its progressive stance on sex work. The country recently passed a law that grants sex workers labour rights, including maternity leave, sick days, pensions, and health insurance. Davido expressed admiration for this groundbreaking legislation, highlighting Belgium's commitment to protecting the rights of sex workers. Indeed. Honestly, it is indeed a very progressive legislation.
It is.
Very.
But I don't know how to feel about it.
Okay.
It's a good, it's of course I'm happy that yes, they have rights and everything. I just don't know. I don't know why. I'm just trying to see what I think.
I mean, you do know why.
Really?
Yeah, you do know why.
No, I'm just trying to understand, like, is it like, maybe before, like, they were being denied of maybe insurance and all these other things, like pensions, based off maybe, like, the fact that their work isn't really recognized as work? Was that it?
Yeah, so okay. I think what it would have been is that things like sex work have very much tended to be kind of off the record work. Do you get not sort of legally recognized work, or some places not even legal at all. And so, yeah, it's not like where you go into an office where you have a 9 to 5 and you know you get a salary every month and the government owes you a certain amount of sort of do you know what I mean, like a certain amount of rights because you're employed, you know, by a typical sort of 9 to 5 or employer sort of thing. So with sex workers, I think it's just probably what everybody else gets in terms of people in formal, maybe more formal modes of employment. So pension, maternity leave, for example, now, like you're almost self-employed.
Yes, I think that's where I was.
Maybe it's like maternity, who's giving you maternity leave? You decide what you're trying to do. But again, maybe it's just to kind of put a bit more, I don't know if the word is structure or kind of make it seem a bit more like, legally recognized and allow them to also have the benefits that some people could argue are like basic human rights, to be honest.
So, I don't know. Do you think that like, do you think it actually is not a good thing? Is recognition really like, I'm trying to see how to phrase the question. Like, is it a bad thing for it to not really be recognized? I think I'm trying. I don't know if I'm phrasing it well, but right now that's how it's coming to me. Because if you're like a person that's in that industry, like you were saying, like for example the maternity leave and things, unless like they're outrightly being denied of these things, like we're mandated to not set up an insurance plan for you because of the type of work that you do, then but it's like it's sort of like not exactly recognized work, and it also seems like they're more or less self-employed, unless they're going through maybe, I know I've heard of those kind of like underground agencies and things that run things like that. So unless of course they're going through formal channels like that, so is it really a bad thing for it not to have been recognized like all through the while, unless of course, like I said, they're being outrightly denied of like basic things?
It depends on how rampant it is, though, because if it's a very very big industry in society, you can't ignore it. Like, in as much as, yeah, you know, they should maybe be considered as like self-employed individuals. If sex work is such a big part of, you know, society in, I believe it was Belgium, then the government can just not recognize such a big proportion of its citizens. So I don't know, I think one, it probably depends on how rampant it is. And also it depends probably on the way in which like sex workers have been treated up to now. If there's been a particularly bad reputation where it's like these guys are consistently sort of trampled upon, downtrodden in society, then again, the government has a duty to its citizens. Yeah. And they are citizens. And so there's no way that something can be seriously going on in a significant part of society, a significant proportion of society, that the government shouldn't respond. So maybe this is a response to do you guess what I mean? Okay. So, I mean, it's a tricky one.
Yes, it is.
It's a tricky one, I can't lie. Just because, I think it's also because of, to be honest, the reputation that sex work has, it doesn't have a fantastic reputation, does it? It's not something that you want your child to say, I want to grow up and I want to be a sex worker. But again, if it's being legally recognized this way, maybe it's becoming another sort of profession, another career.
So I'm definitely happy that, you know, I don't know about the prior treatment, but I'm always up for
people having sort of obviously human rights that are respected, and nobody deserves to be treated like an animal kind of thing. So, but I don't know, because if my own child cannot come and tell me they want to be a sex worker, it's not possible. Actually, I don't care if it's maternity leave or pension or the highest salary in the world, it's not even possible. So that one, it's true.
But I mean, still big ups to Belgium. I mean,
if the Belgian government, I think it is progressive. That's all I can admit. I can admit that it's progressive. Do I like? Is it something that I feel like? Okay, cool. Like, yeah. I don't know, but I agree with people having their basic human rights upheld. So that's what I can say about that.
Same. It's giving twinsies. Twinsies, especially with our matching tail.
Okay, let's do our last story for today. And Meghan Trainor, I love me some Meghan Trainor. We actually need to play some Meghan Trainor more, I think.
I think so
on this show, because she's really giving, in terms of her music, just wholesome. Anyway, her music might be wholesome, but she has admitted to maybe not feeling so wholesome herself because of her surgery. She's admitted to overdoing, actually, Botox, causing her to lose the ability to smile naturally.
Oh my Lord.
She revealed that a lip flip procedure has left her face feeling stiff and painful. Trainor also discussed plans for cosmetic surgery to address the sagging of her breasts after breastfeeding. And this is what they say. They say that once you start, you can't stop with cosmetic surgery. That's what they say. Maybe it's true, because of all people, Meghan Trainor seemed, at least initially, to be very like sort of, to preach a lot of sort of body positivity, do you get? And she seemed to preach kind of like, there are songs, like even some of her songs that I know, where it's kind of like, you know, it's all about that bass, no treble, like she's preaching body positivity, love yourself the way you are, even if it's not the way society kind of, expects you to be. But maybe she's human and she tried one. You know, but it's hard to stop.
I think another thing with and it's obviously it's more difficult for her since she's in the limelight. But I think another issue I have is would I say like body positivity concept. Okay. I think more we should like sort of focus at least to a healthy extent on more like body acceptance. Like, I know, because I think sometimes body positivity, you know, you always try to make it like, oh, you know, like you are, of course everyone is like beautiful in their own way, but I think sometimes we sort of, there's a romanticization around it.
Ooh, and big words.
Yeah. There's sort of romanticization around it, and then some people sort of like, it's like, yeah, I mean, sure, it's encouraging to an extent, but it also feels like, okay, sometimes you're, oh, like, I'm beautiful the way I am, and blah, blah. Like, people don't necessarily believe it. They just want to be accepted. They want to be in a society that, people just want to exist and not have to care so much about their body. But I feel because we're doing like, I'm trying to explain it. I'm so sorry. But I just feel like body positivity is just more romanticized. But if we actually preach like body acceptance, okay, this is the way you are. Of course, you can change it. There's some things you can change. There's some things that you can't change. And I think that it is important to love yourself at every stage. So like, okay, fine, no, it's not a bad thing to want to lose weight or whatever, but make sure that you don't think that you only love yourself after you lose weight, you know. But I think like sometimes body positivity is just like, oh, you're I'm sorry, I'm trying to put it together, but I really hope that I'm sort of passing my points across. Yeah. So, but I feel like, you know, body positivity, a lot of times we sort of romanticize
it. What you're saying.
And so, you know, everyone's, oh, I love myself, yay me, oh, this is that, like, it's nice. But I think body positivity somehow is still sort of centers around like, okay, being accepted. So if you look at it now, it's like, okay, fine, you're learning to, oh, okay, I love myself. You're still now sort of, would I say, being validated by people that also sort of think the same way, which is not necessarily a bad thing because their, would I say, thinking is a more positive thing, like, okay, everybody is beautiful, that kind of thing. But I feel like body acceptance, we know that yes, not everybody will have society more appealing bodies to society, but we accept the way we are. If we feel like we can change, work on some things, yeah, we work on some things. But I feel like, you know, Meghan Trainor, I don't know, it just feels a little heartbreaking. Just a little bit.
But do you know what? It's not actually exclusive to women, this thing. Even men now, cosmetic surgery and men, the things that even men can do, they have hairline surgery.
Yes.
They have six-pack surgery. So I'm not joking. They even have surgeries now where you can like increase your height.
Yes.
Where they can like do something with your bones.
Yes.
Make you taller. So it's anyone and everyone, nobody is exempt at this point. Even men, I'm so sure there are men like walking around there criticizing people for having BBL or having this and that, and you went to Turkey to do your teeth or something. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, like, cosmetic surgery is much more accessible these days, even to the average person. Maybe like 10, 15 years ago, it was a thing that only celebrities had access to because of the price point. But now, it's like the average, you can do cosmetic, I can do a BBL in Lagos. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that inaccessible anymore. So I think that definitely means that, of course, the increased access means that more people will definitely, you know, tap into it. Because like, if I can look better without having to go to gym and squat for the rest of my life, then, do you know what I mean? Then let me do that. But I know what you're saying in that body positivity, I think it started off as a good thing.
Yeah.
But then it's ended up as a trend. It's almost like natural hair. It started off as like, oh, let's love ourselves as Africans and who we are. And now it's a trend. And I'm just like, oh. Do you know what I mean? So I do get what you mean. But I think with Meghan Trainor as well, do you think you would ever do cosmetic surgery? Let me even ask you that before I say what I wanted to say.
Honestly, no.
You don't think you'd ever do cosmetic surgery?
At this point, I don't think I would ever do it.
Fair enough.
I don't think I would want to.
I'm not sure. Do you know why I say that?
Okay.
Because one thing that Meghan Trainor mentioned was the effect of having children on her body or a child. And that's something that, like, in as much as I would like to think that, you know, that shouldn't affect me so much, I actually just don't know. Because I've heard that, like, having children and, like, motherhood is such a huge thing and can really have a big effect on you, and your physically, mentally, everything. That, like, I can't say, man, if certain life stages will not cause me to think about things differently.
So, okay, thinking about it, I won't lie. Of course, I've thought about it before, but I feel like now going to the, like, actually doing the do, I don't think so. Especially, I don't think I'm brave enough. Especially with all the things that, you know, I've heard. It's like, yeah, there are a lot of ones that go right, but there are also a lot of them that...
And you know what? I feel like my parents have almost prayed a prayer over my life that anything I do wrong, I should be the one that is caught.
Are you serious?
So, in line with what you're saying, everyone's BBL could have gone perfectly.
Actually,
that the bomb boss. I beg you.
Oh, the one that looked like more lopsided or something.
Don't worry. It's fine. Thank you so much. But this is where we have to draw the curtains for today. It's been so much fun. And thank you for watching as always. You know that you can always join the conversation, right? You can join the conversation on our social media with the hashtag Teatime. And remember that you can catch up on our previous episodes, including this very one, and all our exclusive content by subscribing to our YouTube channel at PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. You can also watch Teatime on R2TV and in the UK on Ben Television and DSTV channel 408. A big thank you to my amazing co-anchor.
Oh, thank you, Mo.
Lydia. And of course, to the entire production team. Thank you for watching PlusTvAfrica's Teatime. And my name is Mololua. I'll see you next time. Bye.